You know, it's kind of crazy. I reviewed this movie 4 years ago, and I'm reviewing it again. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Daily Reacts TV here, and welcome back to another review. This is a re-review, though. Believe it or not, this is a re-review. And today I am here to do the first re-review of the channel, which is probably going to be the only one, to It Chapter 1. The release in 2017. Yeah, 2017. My first ever horror film, you know. So It Chapter 1 follows during the events of a missing kids crisis. And a group called the Losers Club is dealing with this evil entity known as Pennywise, the Dancing Clown. And it's up to the Losers Club to stop this tragedy of a killer entity, you know, disguised as a clown, to stop it and survive at the same time so they can grow up and leave Derry, Maine. Now, a lot of you guys do not know, I did review this movie 4 years ago. And I did say in my Welcome to Derry review that I was going to re-review this movie, believe it or not. And overall, I thought this was a good choice to do, to sit down, talk about this movie with you guys, and just basically just talk about it again after watching the show. Because after watching that show, it made me rewatch these movies again. The Bill Skarsgård one, not the Tim Curry one. Which, yes, we'll get into the Tim Curry one right now in the background. Freaking hate it. I think it's one of the most stupidest film ever. It was bad. It wasn't good. But yeah, it was terrible. Now, I did see this movie in theaters when I was a kid, when I was 15 years old. And I was really, really scared of this. I was really scared that this movie was going to make me not sleep at night. And it didn't at times, which we'll get into. And believe it or not, I walked out 20 minutes into the film when the Georgie part was coming in, which we'll get into. And I come back in because I knew I had to face my fear. Because I didn't like horror films. I still don't like them. There's certain horror stuff I won't sit down and watch. Basically. If it's one I'm really interested in, then yeah, I would sit down and watch it, obviously. But the basic thing of this, though, too, is that I didn't think I was going to sit down and enjoy my time with this film. Obviously, I did. So, I rewatched it again just recently after finishing Welcome to Derry. And let me just say, this movie still holds up till this very day, 100%. Oh my god, this movie is phenomenal. It still holds up till this very day in a very good and meaning situation, basically. Let me just get this out of the way. Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Dancing Clown. I said it once, and I'll say it again. This was an incredible performance by Bill Skarsgård. He definitely pulls out that creepiness of a clown that you don't want to go near at all. If you're thinking of any clown besides Art the Clown, Pennywise the dancing freaking clown right here. Creepy as heck. He scares me most of the time in this film. And there is moments where in the film he doesn't feel human. And that's basically the figure of it. You don't feel you don't see it being human. That's the thing. You don't want to feel it being too human 100% of the time. That was one of my biggest pet peeves with Tim Curry. He was too human most of the time. Bill Skarsgård, on the other hand, he did not feel human whatsoever. It was creepy. It had really good explanation. And by the way, he just scared me throughout the entirety of this film. That's how good he was. The Losers Club is not as bad as I remembered when I first watched them. Yeah, one of them, their acting was meh to me. Finn Wolfhard as Richie, he just keeps me dying laughing throughout this entire film. And every time I watch this movie, he makes me laugh. every time. The stuff that he says, oh my god. And my family, my sister says I'm more like Richie, but the adult side, which we'll get into when we review It Chapter 2, which is right after this, believe it or not. So, you know. And yeah, he just kept me laughing. Bill as a character had a lot more growth. I remembered him just being that one character. I was like, yeah, he's fine. You know, he's not that memorable. He's actually memorable. This kid has dealt with a lot. Losing his little brother, Georgie, from the death of Pennywise, from the killing from Pennywise in the beginning of the movie, to him just thinking Georgie's still alive, to the point where he pushes his friends to the limit where they're just like, you know what, screw you, I'm done. I don't want to be near this thing. I don't want to die, to the point where they split up, and he realized near the end of the movie that Georgie is dead and he just has to face it. And for a growth like that, that's like a good closure to a character like Bill Denbrough, you know? And I thought he just had a good element in this entire film that it works for him. Eddie grew as a character as well. I remember as a kid, he made me laugh when I watched these two movies, even in the adult side, which we'll get into the adult side. But even when he's not making me laugh, he has some serious moments where his mom basically thinks he's sick on everything. He basically has an inhaler. He has to take a lot of pills. And then when he broke his arm, he was split up from the group because his mom thinks that they were just a bad influence on him. But Eddie grew as a character. Like later on in the movie, he starts realizing that his mom is lying to him overall. And it fits into a natural kind of thing, into this entire film, 100%. And then you get to the next loser, Beverly, and she's the last one I'm going to mention. The other three just don't really have much of arcs. But Beverly has a very strong arc in this movie. She basically is dealing with being beaten and all of that by her father. I'd rather not say. It makes me sick to my stomach. To the point where she faces her fear at the end of the movie by bashing her dad with a toilet. You know those toilet things you grab behind to fix the toilet? Yeah, she used that to hit him in the head with that and kind of killed him. But when she got captured by Pennywise, and she has a very different arc in Chapter 2, which we'll get into completely. I thought she was very well handled. And I remembered I was like nitpicky on her and Bill's actors, the acting in this movie with these two. By far, I thought she was better than I remembered. She was a better actress. She had better moments in this movie. Chapter 2, she gotten better, yes. But at moments watching Chapter 1, it just picks up the pace with her. 100%, I thought she was perfectly good. The horror in this movie is completely terrifying. There is one jump scare that gets me every goddamn time. Every goddamn time. And that is the scene in the projector room, where you know when they flick into the sides, and then as soon as they kept flicking and flicking, you see Pennywise just coming in through the hair. There was a moment after that thing when they push the thing over, Pennywise jumps up, and it gets me every goddamn time, to the point I was like, screw this freaking clown. Because that's just how incredible that was and how well done that established this horror is into this movie. And one more thing I'm going to mention, two more things I'm going to mention. The Georgie scene. If you already knew it was going to happen, it's just going to scare you even more or make you so uncomfortable even more. I remembered every time I watch this movie now and I see this scene with Georgie and Pennywise, it makes me still uncomfortable till this very day. I'm 24 years old and it still scares me 100%. Like, oh my god, this was just terrifying 100%. It fits the chemistry of the horror a little bit, just seeing this scene. And when you see Pennywise bites Georgie's arm off and drags him back in, it was awful and absolutely brutal, but at the same time, it needed to happen. The scene was messed up. Obviously, it fixed the picture of what this movie wants to be, 100%. Now, the story in the film, it's a good story because it's basically following a group finding an evil entity disguised as Pennywise, the dancing clown. They explain how it got the disguise of Pennywise in the Welcome to Derry show. Watch my review of Welcome to Derry. You'll understand why I'm saying all this, because I really don't want to get into much. Now, there is flaws with It Chapter 1. And I remember this one being my biggest major flaw. The bullies. 100%. I thought they were just over-exaggerated. Like, Andy Muschietti, what was going on in your head, bud? What's going on in your head to make them so aggressively disturbing? Not even scary enough, but just disturbing and disgusting to me and all that. Like, they're full-on psychos in this version, and it's made me so uncomfortable, made it so unnecessary, 100%, and it just made the film go, you know? And another thing I gotta say that really bothered me in the film, there's a scene in the movie where one of the bullies go into the sewer to look for Ben after they try to carve Ben. And in the sewer, Pennywise shows up, and it just cuts away. And we just figured out he's been eaten by Pennywise. My question is, why the hell did we see a kid get his arm bit off, but when the jerk bully gets killed, it just cuts away? No, you don't do PG-13 bullcrap like that. Like, that is completely unacceptable. That's not something you do to a movie. You do, like, it bothered me so much watching this movie. I'm like, why is this, why did you do this? Why? You know? And then the final thing that was, like, a biggest flaw in the movie, I gotta say, was basically the first half was kind of boring at times. When Pennywise starts showing up a little bit more, that's when the movie starts picking up, you know. Overall, sitting down watching this movie every time, it gets better and better. I love It Chapter 1. I think it's phenomenal. Thank you guys. I mean, thanks to my sisters for sitting down with me. One of them has never seen these movies, so it's fun with her to sit down and watch it with me, and her being really, really creepy, you know. Obviously, I thought she did a phenomenal job. I thought she sat through enough of it already. But my score for It Chapter 1 is going to be, I believe I gave it an 8 out of 10, and I'm still going to give it an 8. It's still fun. It's still phenomenal. I thought the film was incredible. I thought everything in the film was well done besides all those flaws. Overall, that is my review of It Chapter 1. I would love to know what you guys think of It Chapter 1. Make sure you smack the like button. Also push the red button, which is subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you be notified every video I make. Links in the description to my gaming channel, my production channel, Tyler Bodie, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, Mojo Entertainment. As always, I'm Daily Reacts. Take care, you guys.